Now that the long-awaited Kia EV6 is finally ready to make its introduction in the US, the anticipation and the excitement are going through the roof. And there are many reasons to be excited about it, including its newly released lower than expected price, and the outstanding EPA published range. However, there also exists a gloomy forecast of supply issues, similar to what we are currently experiencing with the IONIQ 5. In this issue, we will explore the reasons why the Kia EV6 may be one of the best electric cars to be introduced in the EV history, and find out what to expect when it's finally released in the US and Canada after a long wait, as the waiting can be even longer after the official release. So, before we go on, we'd highly appreciate your support by subscribing, and turning on the notification bell, if you haven't already. And please don't forget to like, comment, and vote on the question that's presented at the end of the video. The first reason to be excited about the EV6 is the price. With the impending release just around the corner, Kia has officially announced the price for the US, and it's far lower than what has been expected, with the most basic rear-wheel drive standard range model starting from $40,900, a tad more than the IONIQ 5 counterpart, but less than $45,000 originally anticipated, and certainly a lot less than competitors such as Tesla Model Y, which now starts from $60,990, as only the long-range version is now available. The equivalent 321 horsepower dual-motor all-wheel drive, 77.4 kilowatt-hours battery long-range version of the EV6 will sell for $10,000 less than the Tesla Model Y at $50,900, which represents an incredible value. If you prefer the model that would give you the longest range, the 225 horsepower single-motor rear-wheel drive long-range model, with the same battery, will set you back $47,000. The standard range model with a 58 kilowatt-hours battery will only come as a single-motor rear-wheel drive configuration, with 168 horsepower, which has the MSRP of $40,900 as mentioned, but can be reduced to $33,400 after the $7,500 federal vehicle tax credit. This makes the EV6 one of the best-priced EVs in the market for models that have a range that exceeds 300 miles, which brings us to the topic of the second reason, the range. Recently, EPA has released its official range certification for the EV6, and it's also far greater than it was expected. At 310 miles, it even exceeds the IONIQ 5's EPA figure of 303 miles, which was tested earlier, even though the platform-sharing IONIQ 5 has the same battery and drivetrain, despite the fact that the EV6 actually weighs more by nearly 200 pounds. This is thanks to improved efficiency that engineers were able to implement into the EV6 since the introduction of the IONIQ 5, which has been released a few months earlier, and we expect that the range would increase even further at later date, with products like IONIQ 6 to be released in the summer. The EV6 drives farther than its competitions, like nearly identically priced VW ID.4 with an only 260-mile range, and even beats out 300 miles Ford Mach-E, which has a higher starting price. It's a bit shorter than the Tesla Model Y long range's 330 miles that cost $14,000 more, but knowing that Hyundai Kia EVs tend to fare a lot better than the EPA range, certainly make it promising, with reports of the equivalent IONIQ 5 attaining up to 600 kilometers or 373 miles in real range. Also, Hyundai Motor Group EVs with their innovative heat pumps are also known to perform better than competitors such as Tesla in cold temperatures as well, and with the addition of the battery preconditioning feature, the charging speed would not suffer greatly either. The third reason why EV6 might be the best EV that you can buy is its amazing charging speed. Like the other EGMP-based EVs, the ultra-fast charging speed of the EV6 is obviously the greatest strength of the 800-volt charging architecture-based EV6, with its blazingly fast 18-minute charging time of 10 to 80%, compared to 30 minutes to 1 hour for the competition. Fourth and the last reason, but maybe the most important reason, is its availability, as Kia's first ever dedicated electric vehicle will be available in all 50 states, unlike the IONIQ 5, which is currently available in a select few states, consisting mostly of the CARB-ZEV states with a few more scattered around. Also, Kia dealers are well equipped and trained to handle the servicing of EV6, as Kia is more experienced in EVs with years of a head start over Hyundai, with the introduction of Soul EV in 2014, compared to Hyundai's introduction of the original IONIQ EV hatchback in 2017. 725 of Kia's 776 US dealers are EV certified, meaning they are fully trained and equipped to service EVs, as well as having no less than 4 Level 2 chargers within the premise. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that all Kia dealers will be fully stocked with the EV6s when it's finally released, unfortunately. If you are not one of the lucky first 1,500 people that have reserved the EV6 First Edition back in June of 2021, you might be in for a long wait. The First Edition EV6, which retailed for $58,500 with a long-range 77.4 kWh battery and 320 horsepower all-wheel drive power electric system, was sold out in a matter of hours when it was available to the public back in June 2021. And after the initial release, the wait on the production of the highly desirable Korean-made EVs could be incredibly long, unfortunately. According to sources in Korea, the estimated wait time is now an incredible 13 months until you can get your hands on the car, if you were to place an order right now. This is mainly attributed to the chip shortage problem, as it's lasting longer than it was originally expected, and fact that the state-of-the-art EVs like the EV6 require up to 500 semiconductor chips to produce, compared to only 200 required for the conventional ICE vehicles. In particular, it's reported that Hyundai's inventory of MOSFET chips that control electricity flow, and are more needed in the production of electric cars, are at a critical level, adding to the production problem even further. Until now, the supply problem was mainly attributed to the more commonly used MCU or microcontroller unit, but as the demand for the EVs increased exponentially, the semiconductor crisis is taking a turn for the worse. To resolve this problem, Hyundai has recently created a new department that oversees procurement of all semiconductors used in its vehicles, by amalgamating independent chip purchasing activities that were taking place at the subdepartment levels. Hyundai hopes that this reorganization will create synergy by maintaining a better long-term chip strategy and gaining greater purchasing power. One of the new action plans is to work with other automotive manufacturers, as well as the electronics industry, to operate a swap program that shares surplus chips between companies. Although experts expect that the automotive chip supply problem will be resolved by 2023, the future is uncertain, as the chips that are used in automobiles are not exclusive to cars or EVs, but are used by all industries such as electronics and high-tech companies like smartphone manufacturers, and therefore hard to predict the overall demand. This is the reason why the new semiconductor department of Hyundai is also considering producing its own chips through its semiconductor development subsidiary called Autron. For more detailed information on Hyundai's plan for chip and battery manufacturing, please refer to our feature video, which also talks about the strategic partnership with its arch-rival Samsung. The long and the short of it is that, until the chip supply issue is resolved, the long wait for the EV6 will continue. However, another option might be to consider alternatives. One example is the upcoming all-new Niro EV, which is going into production in April 2022 with the expected arrival in the US later on in the year. The latest Niro EV offers just about every feature in the EV6, including the stylish interior that's near duplicate of the EV6's, all at a lower price and more practical boxier shape. It's based on the latest third-generation platform known for its strength and lightness, so you know that it will be more nimble and fun to drive than the model that it replaces, while maintaining the excellent power electric system that's rated at 201 horsepower and powered by the 64 kWh battery that offers 239-mile EPA range or real range of up to 300 miles, which makes it actually more powerful and longer driving than the equivalent standard range EV6, with only 168 horsepower and 58 kWh that renders 232 miles of EPA range. As a non-EGMP EV, and thus less publicized model, the all-new Niro EV will attract far less attention, and therefore should be more readily available to purchase, as is the case with the current Niro EV, which still tops the sales chart in Europe as one of the best-selling electric vehicles, in the countries like the UK. So, reserve your copy of the upcoming Niro EV now, as the words may get out as to how great the car is. In fact, in Korea, Kia has closed reservations on this year's allotment of approximately 20,000 units within 3 hours of opening the system. When Niro EV is released in the US at the end of the year 2022, the estimated starting price will be $42,000, which would put it right in between the standard range and the long-range EV6s. For more information on the upcoming Niro, please check out our feature video on the subject. As for the end of the video question, after seeing this episode, would you consider buying alternative products such as the Niro EV instead of the EV6, or wait for the real deal? Please vote and share your views by clicking on the link in the comment section below or in the description. Thanks for watching AutoVision, your best source for the fastest Korean car news and rumors. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and click on the notification bell, as not to miss any of our new videos. It would help the channel greatly if you could view our videos as soon as they are uploaded, and watch them all the way until the end, which would help to reach more people. Also, to support our channel even further, please join our membership and enjoy the exclusive content and preview of the upcoming episodes. Finally, don't forget to join our forum and share your passion for Korean cars at KoreanCarNews.com. See you next time with the latest Korean car news.